Hey guys, Tristan here, and we are back for part 2 of Project Blackwing. In the first part, we put together the Traxxas Magnum 2-wheel drive transmission, and today we'll be doing the rear suspension. So, without further ado, let's get this together. We're going to start out by attaching the A-arms to the transmission, and that's easily done by taking the corresponding side, the left and right. You'll see by the marking at the very top, and just sliding them on to the squat bars of the transmission case and sliding the kingpin through the front. Next, we're going to take the drive shafts and slide them onto the outputs of the transmission and screw down the one screw that holds them in place. Now we're going to take our hub carriers, slide a couple 5x11x4 bushings into place, just like so. Then we're going to take a Teflon washer, slide it onto the end of one of our drive shafts, followed by our hub. Then we're going to put another Teflon washer on the end. Then we're going to take a little rod, slide it through just like so. There we go. Then we're going to put a hex hub on the end. There we go. Just pop it into place. Some strength required. There we go. Now we can take the end of the drive shaft, slide it into the male end, and take the hub and put a kingpin through the A-arm to hold the hub in place. Now that we have the hub in place, we're going to take one of our camber links, depending on what type of Stampede you have, whether it be the XL5 or the VXL. Depending on which one, you're going to have either the steel ones or these plastic ones. Since I'm building an XL5, I have these plastic ones. Now I'm going to take a shoulder screw, put it right through the camber link. Now that we have most of the rear suspension in place, we're going to take our camber links. Depending on which style Stampede that you're building, whether it be an XL5 or a VXL, will determine which camber links you have. If you have the XL5, you're going to have the plastic ones like I do. But if it's going to be a VXL, you're going to be having the steel ones. But they can be intermatched however which you way. I just have these on hand. So you're going to take a shoulder screw through the end of these. You're going to screw them down to the end of our axle carriers, just like this. Now we have to connect the other end of the camber links to the bottom of the shock tower. We're going to be screwing them with a shoulder screw into this top hole right here. With the camber links in place, we can just take the shock tower, lie it down on top of the transmission, and screw in the two screws that hold it into place. Now that we have the shock tower in place, we can take our body mounts and slide them right on over the 4 holes of the shock tower and screw down the 4 screws. Next, we're going to take our rear shocks and attach them to the suspension. Each shock is going to be held on with 2 screws, a shoulder screw at the top that attaches to this hole right here in the shock tower, and then the bottom screw is going to be held on with a standard screw. It's going to attach to one of these holes on the A-arm. The last thing I'm going to be doing for this part is attaching the rear skid plate to the bottom of the transmission. It's going to be held on with 6 screws. Alright guys, here we go. This is what we are left with at the end of part 2 of this build series. Next part, we're going to be putting together the front suspension, and from there we will be moving on to part 4, which will be the chassis and final assembly of this RC. I'm getting really excited to see what this thing starts to look like, because right now it's starting to look very promising, and I really am liking the way it's starting to look. So I will see you guys in the next part.